Welcome, friends and future colleagues, to a new and reinvented Law Guys. You have come to the most interesting legal platform for talk shows and more. We give you candid talks with people who you look up to. I'm your host for today, Muskan Narang. I'm a second year law student from DY Patil University. We have with us today Shubham Buddhiraja sir. Sir is a company secretary who is also in the final year of his LLB from Faculty of Law, University of Delhi. He has also done his BCom honors from DU. He has done various internships along with writing articles on topics related to law. I got connected with him through LinkedIn and he was kind enough to show up on the show. Thank you so much for coming on the show, sir.
Well, thank you, Muskan, for having me on this show. And thank you for accepting this candidature because it's being more like uh, a very new thing. Well, I am liking this show for primarily two reasons. First reason is that it will take me to the memories of struggle days. Though struggle is inevitable, you'll have struggle for life. And secondly, I like the idea of this show because it's kind of candid and professional stuff altogether. So I'm pretty excited with this. Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. So, sir, let's start with why did you decide to choose law, which is the most standard question I ask.
Okay, so I'll not say that I had this dream to become a lawyer from my childhood days, but yeah, in a subconscious mind, I had some of the traits, I would say some of the taste of being a lawyer, like in a subconscious mind. So when during my school time, so we had a family property dispute, and I always wanted to know what is it about, like how we
Right.
going to resolve, or who's going to win, what is the family tree, what does law speaks. So in a subconscious mind, I wanted to solve this issue. Okay, but I will not say that I wanted to be a lawyer first. Uh, in a conscious mind, I'll say when I was doing my CS, and so there is a subject called drafting pleading, and there is a subject commercial laws in CS. So
Okay.
during those journey, when we had a teacher who was an advocate at Delhi High Court, so he used to take us to the real court proceeding and kind of help us to go through what exactly is court and how practical things work. So it'll
Mhm.
make me to the idea of okay, if I'll go like if I do law. I'll be at a better place just being a company secretary. I'll be have a better
Mhm.
hand or better taste over it. So
Okay.
yeah, in this way.
Okay. So, how was your journey, let's say academically? Starting from passing out from 12th, your journey has been really fascinating. You've actually experienced all the fields that there could be. So, sir, if you would like to tell us about that.
Okay, so I completed my schooling from a government school only. I was a commerce with math student, and when I was in my class 12th, so I had no idea what is the road ahead for me. Just
Right.
like though I will not speak on the generality of that issue. So I talked to one of my teacher who was an accountancy teacher for me. I asked that okay, since I've been commerce, you also belong to commerce. So what do you suggest? So he say okay, you'll get some marks and you'll get a regular college at being BCom or BCom honors from Delhi University, but that might per se will not be sufficient. So he suggested some of the professional degrees to me. Okay, there are three degrees, prominent degree I would say that there is chartered accountancy, company secretary, and cost accountancy.
Mhm.
Apart from law, since I was a commerce graduate, so he said you should either go for three of them.
Mhm.
So he suggested that you should go for CS for the reason being, so I passed out my schooling in 2013. That means during those days, the companies at 2013 was in a beginning, and
Mhm.
it has various material changes for the CS people.
Okay.
Uh, if I at the very outset cite those example, one of them is that now the company secretaries are being recognized at key managerial personnel. The practicing company secretary, they appear before the newly constituted national company law tribunals. So
Mhm.
these were one of the two reasons. So he said you should go for CS.
Right.
So my journey started. Okay, I took admission in a Ramanujan College. It is at South Campus of Delhi University,
Mhm.
BCom honors. So he said you need to take some coaching in CS because there are three levels and each of the level is outstanding. I mean, you need quite a hard work to get over it.
Mhm.
And yeah, so my journey during my graduation days were pretty boring, I would say. No
Mhm.
fun. Uh, in fact, see, I'm a very average student, but I believe that hard work can take you to anywhere.
Right.
It is the consistency which takes you to the Heights.
Right.
Yeah. So my schedule was like, so my college was 25 km/h from my place. So
Wow.
uh, during the first year, I had no vehicle or stuff. So I used to travel by this public transport. It's quite fun also because you meet new people, you meet new students also who are going college, and
Right.
sometimes you meet new friends also.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so my schedule was like 8 o'clock. We had first lecture, which I never been able to attend. So 8 o'clock till 2 o'clock, I used to go college, and so at 4 o'clock I had my CS coaching. So till four, from 4 o'clock till 7 or 7:30, I used to go to my CS coaching. And then one of my kind of senior, they suggested that you should teach also. In a way, it will help you with two things. Firstly, since you are a commerce graduate, commerce background,
Mm-hmm.
and you have accounts both in your commerce as well as in your CS. So
Right.
in a way, it will help you to rebrush your basics.
Mm-hmm.
So he says go for it. So I started teaching that also. So in addition to get clear at 7:30, I used to teach also from
Oh,
8:30 till 9:30 or
wow.
something as a home tutor. So it helped me get some money also, and yeah, it helped me to get my basics clear. Yeah, so the journey goes on and goes on and goes on, and I cleared all the levels of CS in first attempt, and I maintained 75% in my college. I was not a very topper kind of student in my college, but I used to maintain because I had to make a balance between my CS and commerce, both of the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the journey till CS. Yes.
Okay. So, sir, now that you after that decided to do law, so how is being a law student in DU? And so people, I talked to Nipun Bhatia, sir. He was also in Law Center too, I think. And so he was telling me about that there is a huge difference that people make in Law Center 2 and 1, and there is a whole thing. So if you would like to tell
Yes,
about it.
yes, yes. I would like to comment upon that. So, firstly, so there is a trend in CS also. I would like to highlight that, and many of those people who are in CS, they're pretty much aware of it.
Mm-hmm.
See, I will say, people take the law very lightly. I mean, they see it as just an addition to their degree, though it is not. It's an altogether uh, bunch of rights and bunch of personality development in itself. When you're a lawyer, you're all together a social engineer as well. So it
Right.
depends upon the vision of the people how they see it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so in our CS, the major trend, because I am not in a position to comment upon the statistics of how many people, but I'll tell you, major of the company secretary is a lawyer also by degree.
Mm-hmm.
But there is a catch here. They are the lawyers, but only just for their degree. They completed their law from some private universities. Like, so there is a gap. There is a gap. So
Right.
I don't want such kind of tag to my. Though ultimately depend at the end of the day, you should know the work,
Mm-hmm.
but this is the practice. So I don't want such kind of tag because people have suggested me that you should do law from those universities. You don't have to go regular and you just enjoy your work. I said no. I want to compromise the stuff and I want to taste this culture also because DU has law faculty. DU have lot of alumni. I guess presently some 3 to 4 judges at Supreme Court are also our alumni. Chief Justice Deepak Mishra, Indu Malhotra, Kapil Sibal, late Shri Arun Jaitley, who not. So it has a enriched history of giving
Right.
the people. So
Mm-hmm.
of course it has something different out of other. So this is the reason I choose law from DU. Now coming to doing law at DU, it's altogether a different thing because then there is politics. Now person like me who is from a commerce background and he have no taste of politics.
Mm-hmm.
I never understood what is capitalism. I know the academics of capitalism, socialism, leftist, rightist, this, that.
Right.
But in law faculty, I practically experienced it. The people are divided on the basis of the ideology, and there is a very good debate that one can enter into. Then, when I get into law faculty, I saw that okay, there are three centers: LC2, LC1, and CLC.
Mm-hmm.
And on social medias, there is a fight which one is better. But
Right.
let me tell you, each of them are at their own pace. Some
Mm-hmm.
of them are older, some of them are starting, but right now they all are at one place, that is North Campus. Earlier Law Center 2 was at little distance place. and they have teachers who interchange. Like for some seasons, the teachers of LC2 teach at CLC.
Okay.
Sometimes, so it's sort of an interchangeability also.
Okay.
But the general perception of people who are from non or who have not done law, or maybe who don't understand law faculty in its essence, they kind of compare it. But I practically, what I experience, that it doesn't matter. Like, see, course content is same. You can attend their lecture also. There is no prohibition in attending their lecture. They can attend our lectures. Many a time I used to go to CLC. Many a time CLC student come to LC2, and we used to attend each other lecture. Let's suppose that there is. So you must have heard Professor Upendra Bakshi. He's from law faculty also. Only he's in Jindal. So he's a big man its own self.
Right.
Yeah, and there is so I'm not remembering much of the name. So we are being allowed to shifting. There is not much of the difference between all of the center. It depends how you see it. It
Right.
really depends. The course content same, teacher or one mean the same, and you have access to the library. They can sit in our library, we can sit in their library. One and mean the same thing, except some minute differences, which I think with the eventuality of time and the generation, it will eventually change.
Right.
Yes.
So what did you yourself see that as a person as doing CS or doing a course like law, have you seen any personality changes in yourself or something like that?
Yes, yeah. So there is a complete change. See, CS is a distance learning course. Though we read a lot of laws. So when I started my semester one, so there were subjects like contract law, as you must have had, contract law, some other commercial laws. So I already had them like thrice a time. So in all the three levels, we have contract law. So I know that very subject.
Right.
But to put it in an argument or to use it in your motions, it's an altogether different thing that we learn at a law school. Know the section and to apply the section, there are two different things.
Right, right.
When I was in my semester one, in fact, when I moved to semester two, I filed my first case. So I and few of my friends, we went to this place called Parashar Lake. It's in Mandi, Himachal Pradesh. We went outing. So we, while coming to our home Delhi, we book 3 tickets from Paytm. And so they showed their departure time at 8 o'clock in the morning. However, we reach at like 2:30 or something. And I instantly note all the timings. And when I went home, I serve a legal notice to them, to the Paytm. So kind of damages or quantum merit, there is no contract, this, that, a lot of legal stuff, more contractual in nature. So here I learn through the law school how to apply the law, though I already know the law. Okay, and I got that completely refund with them. So it's kind of first achievement that I got in my semester two itself. And then I keep on and on and on. Presently, I have 6 personal consumer cases that I filed against various companies. One of them is very interesting. So if you know that whenever you went to any shopping mall and when you are at a counter, at a billing counter, they ask you if you want a carry bag or not.
Right.
And straight away you'll say, okay, I want. So they'll charge you. So I went through this fact that that charging for the carry bag is an unfair practice. Okay. There are some of the judgments of in Chandigarh that charging carry bag. One of the very famous is Bata showrooms. So I tried to research upon this fact, and I went to the mall and I genuinely and I asked for the carry bag and they charged me.
Okay.
And then I served the legal notice, filed a case. The case is being admitted. Now it is reserved for the argument stage.
Okay.
So I say that I already know all of these things during my CS also, but through mooting, through the class discussion, through active participation, so this is only through when you learn law in true essence.
Right.
You will get to know through your rights each and every small thing. Right. So I think in this manner, law gives you an upper edge. That is why I have great respect to the law faculty that it have given me a lot and I'm learning a lot. So thanks to law, of course, CS is my home. This is something which immersed me what I am. But law have added cherry to the cake. So yes, I have great debt to the law.
Right. So, sir, CS, what are the other benefits of doing CS apart from the ones that you said right now?
Okay, so so being a company secretary, so you have two options when you pass the course of CS. You have two options. Either you can go into the employment, or you can get into the practice. So
Mm-hmm.
when you go into the employment, you have various roles. So the kind of curriculum those company secretaries have, we read finance, we read law, of course, we read accountancy also, and we read costing part. So
Right.
you have so the areas are open to you. You can get into the secretarial compliances part. You can get into the finance. For example, you can act as a merchant banker also, if you know, if you can get into the security market. You can get into the capital market.
Mm-hmm.
You can get to the functioning of RBI.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, yes, and yes, one more thing, that you have your intellectual property rights also as a paper in optionals also. So you have that field also, that you can act as a trademark agent. Yes, and one thing I like to point it out, that once you passed a course of company secretary, and if you're taken a practice, you
Mm-hmm.
just have to file one form, and then you're a trademark agent. So you
Right.
don't need to pass any exam for that.
Mm-hmm.
So so this is one more area open. Coming to the practice side, so when you join practice, you have all the areas open.
Mm-hmm.
However, the very recent trend for the company secretaries in practice, including myself, we deal in insolvency and bankruptcy code, because we are expressly authorized to appear on behalf of our client, apart from the advocates. So in
Right.
practice, you have all the areas, with special emphasis on insolvency.
Mm-hmm.
In employment, the it's all yours. It depends how you see. Some people just see it as a compliance part. Some people see the wider picture. So it
Mm-hmm.
depends. The areas are open to you.
Right. So, is there any way
Yeah.
to add merit or more credit to CS if you do some other degree alongside, just like you did? Or is there requirement to add credit to it? Or is it okay in itself?
It really depends. Like I would say, it depends upon person to person.
Mm-hmm.
During the initial years, if you want to take the experience, you can work through your CS. But I'll say, even in a company, I'm talking about in context of people who are in employment. Even in a company, there are bunch of army of CS. When I say 20, 30 company secretaries,
Mm-hmm.
associate company secretary, and then there is a head company secretary, who is a key managerial personnel. So of course, if you want to attach the ladder, apart from your hard work, you need some kind of degrees if you want to reach the ladder,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe if you want to specialize. So in a mediocre companies, instead of having a separate secretarial department,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes they have a secretarial come legal department. So it is kind of a joint thing. So they
Right.
prefer those CAs who have a law background, if I say general counsels.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they have the secretarial and the finance department combined. So they prefer those company secretaries who have MBA finance also. Sometimes they have taxation departments in attached. So they prefer those CAs who have the degree of chartered accountancy also. So it goes on and goes on. Yes, it will always help you. If I have to list down some of those degrees, of course, you can get law, you can get a professional degree like a chartered accountancy, you can
Mm-hmm.
go for cost accountancy, you
Right.
can do LLM also if you're a law graduate.
Mm-hmm.
You can go, so instead, the company secretary, Institute of Company Secretaries of India, they themselves conduct many post membership courses,
Okay.
such as they have courses in registered valuer.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever there is an acquisition of company, or whenever there is a merger or acquisitions or merger or amalgamation, whenever there is a transaction which involve the valuation of shares or securities, there is a person who is appointed called registered valuer.
Okay.
So company secretaries can also act as a registered valuer. There are various courses which are conducted by. So so yes, I would, in a very concluding manner, I would suggest there are a lot of such courses, and yes, it will help you.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so sir, doing LLB, if you've experienced LLB, the 3 year course, do you think which has more merit, doing it in the 3 years or the 5 years?
See, this is a self-incrimination question. I would like to invoke my fundamental right, but yeah, anyway. Uh,
Right,
See, it depends because I have my friends, one of my close friend who's a 5 year law graduate. He's a lawyer.
right.
Uh, so we always compare that who is better. But I think it's both side of the picture.
Mm-hmm.
In a 5 year law course, you are you become more extrovert because I really appreciate the fact that they have regular these mood skills. So in 3 year law college, I don't know about other college, but law faculty don't have internals. We have 100 marks exam.
Mm-hmm.
So uh, and we don't have mood court as such mandatory as internal, but we have a mood court society.
Right.
But I think that this does not give access to all of the students. But in 5 year law school, each and every student have to go through it because of the internal marks. So in this manner, it polish your personality development and your mooting skills. So in this way, 5 year law is at upper end over the 3 year law.
Hmm.
But there is another side of the picture, that in a 5 year law college, it is more like I have myself seen some of my friends, those who are in Symbiosis, so
Mhm.
they are very strict. I see no such strictness in my 3 year law college. We are very liberal and very allowed to express our things. And many a time we had a word with authorities also. Like if you have, we very often file written petitions against our
Wow.
own teachers. Yeah, law faculty have the history of it.
Right.
So so coming to the practical exposure for the initial years, because you're a graduate already.
Hmm.
See, you have to see this fact. One person who is coming from a school and one person who have 3 year of his graduation, so
Hmm.
he's pretty mature over this fact.
Right.
But I think both of them have their own value. It really depends.
Right.
Those people who want to get into judiciary, many a time they join DU law faculty because of its curriculum. I don't know if you are aware of this fact, that law faculty DU is the one of the law college or maybe the only law college which follow the case material method,
Hmm.
where we do not have as such books, but we have a case material which
Hmm.
have nothing but the judgments. So we read judgments only, and that's how we argue. So it's a totally uh, judge-made law, as we read in jurisprudence. So coming to your question that how 3 and 5 year, which one is better? I'm totally unable as of now to find to outweigh one of them. Each of them, like they have their own value. So it really depends where you want to go. Yeah,
Right, exactly. So, sir, actually, this has been a long debate when it comes to actually choosing
yeah, along.
something. Uh,
Yeah,
so people say that because there is a 5 year law course like I'm in the second year right now. So
yes,
when we do it, you get a lot of exposure in terms of, as you said, mooting. You also get a lot
yes,
of exposure when it comes to like interacting with people like you and everything. So like we can create our own opportunities in those 5 years. So
yes.
it's actually a useless debate. Actually, if you do it, you want to do some degree first and then you want to do LLB, it's the same thing as doing it just 1 year ka gap you will get. So, as you've told about your law school journey right now, so
There
you're.
is, yeah, sorry to cut you short. There is one more difference.
Mhm,
Uh, I don't know about other law college, but there is no age limit in 3 year law, like in DU.
mhm,
So we have many, we have classmates and we have students of our session.
mhm,
Some of them are retired professionals. Some of
okay,
them are retired IAS officers. They do
mhm.
law just as for a passion. So
Wow.
we get an exposure when they speak.
Right.
So I have a teacher, not a teacher. We have a student.
Mhm.
Uh, Sir is like 45 or 50 years of age, and he's a doctor in AIMS. So
Wow.
there was a chapter on medical negligence, and the way he given exposure to this, it was an altogether different chapter because you know more than teacher. So
Wow.
yeah, so in this, you get yeah, kind of
Right.
outweighed on this. So it really depends. It really depends.
Right, exactly. So, sir, as a law student, what do you do to be a good law student, or what do you think an ideal law student should do?
There is no definition of an ideal law student. Uh, I don't know if I'm an ideal law student or not, but you just need to be punctual with your work, but you need not to be just a very bookish person. You read the law and you cram the sections and you just vomit out in the exam. No, 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 no. If you are watching the problem towards your society, you should help them out. I remember one of the lectures given by late Shri Ram Jetpalani. He said that one of the primary duty of a lawyer is not to charge the money but to help the people.
Right.
He said if you want to earn the money, you go and open a panwala shop, because a panwala will earn more than a basic lawyer.
Mhm.
But if you really want to serve the society for the initial year, you need to compromise your pocket. But trust me, it give you a next level dopamine at the end of the day. I'll give you an example also. So you must have heard this Lok Adalat system.
Right.
So I am a paralegal volunteer with Delhi State Legal Service Authority. So it helped the poor litigants at Lok Adalat.
Mhm.
So I went there at a Dwarka court in Delhi, and it was a Lok Adalat, people's court. So you don't need a lawyer access, and they were giving the rebates to the people who have pending bills, like
Right.
from 5 years, 6 years. They were giving a chance to them.
Mhm.
So I see the lawyers, they would try to manipulate those poor people that we will help you out doing a 40% rebate, though it was a rebate which was given with the authority itself, and they
Mhm.
were charging money. So I saw there is one instance, there's a poor lady who was unable to, because she doesn't have a money. I said that, ma'am, you don't need a lawyer, you come with me. She was very poor, and I can't even express you. I took her, and I prepare all the documents to her, and I went to the person in authority with her, and I get the, instead of 40%, I get 50% rebate to her. I arrange that in an installment, and when when I came out and she was like, okay, you take this 500. I said, no, 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 you don't know what you have given me. So this kind of dopamine, so this is a next level happiness that you get. One of such instances, so one of my neighbor, I so yeah, not so yes, one instance. So I am a kind of dog lover also, like animal lover. I have 4 dogs, like stray dogs, and 3 cats, stray cats.
Um,
So uh, so I and my friends, so many a time what happened is that stray dogs have the problem. Uh, they had an injury, and there is no as such animal hospital in Delhi.
mhm.
Some of them, they are semi-government.
Right.
So I, many a time I went there with my dogs and cats, and I get them corrected. But what I noticed that there is no arrangement for cats,
Right.
because people, I don't know about other states, but in Delhi, but I mean where I live, I don't see people who have cats, but I have.
Mhm.
So this is the same reason that those people cited, that no one have cats. So we have dogs arrangements for dogs.
Mhm.
So I find no differences. It is totally irrelevant whether people have pets or not, but you should have
Right.
uh,
Exactly.
facilities for
Facility.
each and every animal.
Mhm.
So I, along with my friends who are in law faculty, we now right now we are researching upon it, that what are is there any funds for the animal welfare, and what is the correct mechanism. And very recently we have filed one RTI also, and we will be writing some representation to the MLA of the concern
Mhm.
regarding this. So I think ideal law student is one who knows how to apply the law and not just grammar it. Because at the end of the day, when you argue in court or when you argue in authority, no one will ask you how many marks you get in your constitutional law.
Right. Exactly.
Yes.
So, sir, all these things that you are doing, is actually genuinely for your own interest that you are doing it, not to like have it in your CV कि मैंने ये चीजें की हैं, but it's your genuine interest. That is why you're
I
doing
have not put it in my CV. I have not put it in my
it.
CV.
Exactly. Mhm. So, sir, So like as a law student, everybody has to do mooting and everybody has to do internships, but what is the right way of going ahead with these? Like, is it okay to do mooting in the first year itself, or do you have to like see it first and then do it? They're like, what is the right way of starting to do mooting and then starting to do internships, and what should be a person in internships? As an intern, how should a law student be?
I think mooting will help you to have personality development, but one should be very aware of this fact that if you're in first year, I'm talking in context of 3-year law school.
Right.
If you're in first year, because I did my first mooting in first year itself when I was in my semester 2. So I had this experience that when you're in a first year, because many of the subjects that you're going through, you don't know much of the details about it, even though you have read about them,
Right.
right? So you keep a senior with you yourself, and he or she will kind of explain you. Coming to the internship, I think internships are very important because it gives you a real picture.
Hmm.
Uh, See, in India, largely in district courts, one must see how the trial works, because I'll tell you there is a lot of gap between mooting and the real court,
Hmm.
right? So when you're in a mooting, your judge express you the instant answers. You don't have a pause. You don't have a conduct. You don't take adjournments. But when you're in a real court, you take adjournments. You take
Hmm.
a pause. You seek excuses for a minute. You seek the judgment. You turn off the pages.
Hmm.
uh, and I kind of see this difference that there is no evidence law, I guess, that we apply as such in detail in mooting. But when you go to real court,
Hmm.
evidence law plays, and I think this is one of the reason that we have trial advocacy.
Hmm.
It is being starting that there is lacking in mooting. Mooting will help you when you're moving at the appellate stage, or so when you're in the high court, you just argue over the law.
Right.
But when you are at a district level, you argue on facts, not just on pure law.
Hmm.
So I think both have their importance, but internships are very important, very, very important.
Hmm.
Uh, I'll tell you, and one should never restrict themselves to a one kind of law.
Hmm.
See, since I have done CS, so many people have the perception that I'm limiting to the company law,
Right.
but that is not true. I have had the exposure of criminal law also. I have drafted the discharge applications. I had this experience of consumer complaints.
Hmm.
I have the experience of insolvency. Uh, I think one should never restrict them to an area.
Hmm.
So doing multiple internship in multiple law, but yes, during this pandemic, it has created an issue. Many of the law firms, they are on the name of internship. Uh, you know what I'm talking
Online
about.
internship, right? So,
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
yes,
please
sir.
go
So
ahead.
I've been clearly manipulated by many
Yeah,
these things.
lot of LinkedIn post. I think we both have seen that people, they are coming with lot of issues. So I will not name a person. He's an advocate on record. I
Right.
really can't name that person. I interacted to his LinkedIn. I said as a gesture text that I am looking for an internship, sir. So he said, okay, send me your CV. I send him my CV, and within 2 days he said, okay, you are applied and you are agreed, being consented for this October.
Hmm.
Uh, then I was quite shocked. He sent me 2 Google forms, and so those Google forms had a lot of sub questions,
Right. Hmm.
and those questions were asking me that you so it's a 30 days internship. They've divided 30 days into 30 work,
Okay.
and the day one is that you have to go through their YouTube channel, like their page, subscribe and share. I
Okay.
was like, what I am doing?
Right.
Like, this is an internship with an advocate on record. I mean, like, I just got amazed
Right.
that I need to write something to sir. So I instantly, on the very day one, I said, sir, I cannot do this. I had a prior experience of drafting for the 15 months. I had experience in research. I had experience in code craft. I will be very okay if you allow, even if you invite me for the physical appearances. I will never mind, even during this COVID, because I want to learn. I'll manage it. But please don't ask me to do this like, share, subscribe out of an internship. I'll do it out of courtesy, I will not do out of an internship. I don't want certificate for that.
It's not
Yeah.
supposed to be a task for you for the first day of the internship. It should be something like an orientation or like in what a ideal internship is like. This is, I think, I've
For 30 days, he have divided it for 30 days. That you have to do this, you have to comment upon it, you have to share it on your Instagram, you have to share it on your WhatsApp, you have to share in your Facebook. I said I am prepared it very professionally. I can't ruin up my professional.
right,
So
right.
I denied it. I denied
Exactly.
it.
So, sir, people who are offering these internships, these mostly there are some organizations also which are not registered organizations, and they are offering online internships.
Yes, yes. I read it. I read it. Yes, yes,
Right.
yes,
So,
yes.
sir, I
And they
have
are,
been. Yes.
yes, yes, yes,
So, sir,
yes.
I have been a part of many online internships, and after a while, when I was reading up on LinkedIn, I actually discovered that okay, these are not registered organizations, and I did it with
Yes.
them, and they usually take. So they obviously make you sign something that if you are submitting your blog or whatever here, your writings here, you obviously cannot use it anywhere else. So even if you
Mm-hmm.
are opting out of those things, and they are very simple things like they just want to get more views on their channel or
Yes,
maybe
yes,
their blog
yes,
or something, they ask you to market it. So clearly I wrote in an email, I was like, I'm not a marketing student, I'm a law student, so I cannot I
yeah.
will write an article for you, I can't share it, and you can publish it, but I can't share it and take the responsibility of getting 100 views on every blog post.
One of my friend, he have written it on LinkedIn and he got a good bunch of likes and comments for it. Many people have come forward and agree over it.
Hmm.
So he's in law faculty only. I had a discussion with him that there are many, and you'll be amazed, they are advocate on record. I mean, glad people see them as a motivation.
Right.
Uh, and they are doing marketing. Okay, you do your marketing, but don't just manipulate the interns. See, we want to learn,
Hmm.
and we have a lot of hope when we join somewhere.
Right.
So I think let's not ruin that very picture.
Hmm.
Uh, so he openly write it that there are many. So I have myself noticed that there are many law firms. What they do, they hire you as an intern. They invite people, and you are just a moderator over this internship.
Okay. Hmm.
So see, as long as there it is helping you, that is fine. But if you're doing this task only,
Hmm.
it's not a see, you have to separate a intern with a law intern. So
Right.
there is a prefixed law, I think, and it is a very wider term. I really don't know. I'm not able to make up my mind because I myself is just a beginner in this CS and law. Even I can hire people as an intern in the capacity of my company secretary, but I've never hired them because I will not be able to give them very material work that they should get.
Hmm. Right.
So until unless I myself cannot give them much of the material work because I myself is learning, I accept myself as a student and I will be a student for life. I want to learn. I learn each and every day. We
Hmm.
learn each and every day from everyone,
Right.
from our youngers, everyone around teachers. But if you restrict yourself these kind of internships, I really like this is the
Exactly.
kind of disheartening. Yeah.
So even people who are in their final year, they are also doing internships, which are online internships, and which have been as not rewarding as that I told you. So you just get a
Yes.
certificate out of it, and that is not even valid because it's not a registered organization. So I don't know what is the point of all this. Also, the now after the lockdown, after like 3 or 4 months after the lockdown, they have
Hmm.
started the normal like proper organizations have started joining, law firms have started putting out Google forms of all this, so that is a good thing. But online internship of writing articles and without, so even they make you write articles, they will never proofread it, they will not give you
Yes,
feedback,
yes,
they will
yes.
not give you any like correction in case supposingly I read something on Google, I will have no access
I
on
got it.
Manupatra or
Yes.
SEC, so
Yes,
I
yes,
will
yes.
not verify कि वो कब का है और वो सब करके तो they will not proofread it, they will not see कि मैंने सही लिखा है कि नहीं, they will just publish on their platform.
Because they want a marketing. Because they
Right,
want a marketing.
exactly.
It's
The
quite
more number
kind
of
of a critic thing one should one really need to have, and I think many people are coming with this, that this is the lack. Because I really don't understand getting a certificate. This is not a management course, or this is not some because at the end of the day, I'll say, at the end of the day, you will be at a court or an authority, or maybe at your chamber or anywhere, but you will be applying the law.
Hmm.
You're not, until unless you want to get into academics, that's fine, you want to teach it,
Hmm.
but if you want to see, I'll be very honest. I'm in my final year, but I'm very happy over this fact that I had myself. See, I have not officially win some moot code, but I have 4 of the judgments which are on my name, and
Oh,
I have no lawyer for that. I have myself appeared it. I could not make out to the moot court because of the time thing. I had lot of internships. I just keep on myself busy over it. So,
right,
but I have 4 judgments on my name. So in either you do this or that, but you get some experience instead
right,
of doing an online internship, which gives you nothing.
right.
Except there are some quality online internships also.
Hmm.
Let's not forget that. I myself had one online internship past 1 month, and I had drafted arbitration applications, arbitration research work, lot of thing that I have never had the exposure.
Hmm.
And sir take only one intern. He said, I don't want bunch of people
Hmm.
uh, who do this marketing. And he said, I'll pay you for the fact that you are CS, not just a law student.
Right.
So there are people who acknowledge that uh, that you that
Bring
you are
value.
here for a reason,
Hmm.
but then there are people who exploit you.
Hmm.
So when we grow, we learn, and I am also learning just like you. Try to differentiate those two kind of people. So
Right.
we all are learning. Yes.
Right. But so you're pretty advanced when it comes to learning right now. I'm really intimidated by you. The
And I teach also.
Huh? So I see your background right now. So is that the
Yeah. Yeah, so I teach economics and mathematics to class 12th.
okay.
I've been teaching from past 5 years, like
Uh,
on weekends.
right.
As I say, it helped me to being a better person also.
Hmm.
Many a time I notice, so whenever I teach economics, so there are two kind of transactions, capital transactions or revenue transactions.
Hmm.
And when you learn the taxation or the finance,
Hmm.
or when you are preparing some argument which is related to finance or accountancy or insolvency,
Hmm.
these kind of thing really helps you out to better understood the situation. I'm telling you this
Hmm. Oh.
because I'll tell you the management basics or the economics basics, the accountancy basics,
Hmm.
they'll take you at high.
Right.
Yes, so I have my basics attached all the time,
Hmm.
and I'm very mean because I teach them, because I teach myself also.
Right. Right. So, sir, whenever you are studying law, so let's talk about drafting. I was really interested in that, that you are drafting and everything. So, how did you
Okay,
start drafting?
okay, okay. So when I so there is a 14 months mandatory internship in CS, like a management trainee kind of thing.
Hmm.
I did with the law firm only
Hmm.
because I wanted to do law.
Hmm.
So during my first day when I joined, I had no uh, basics of drafting. Though I had learned in my academics, I got good marks also. So when the very first day that I joined, my senior uh, asked me, "Okay, come here," and she gave me 3 check bounce checked. She said these are the 3 bounce check, and there's some like uh, amount 5 lakh rupees. You have to draft a legal notice. So in a check bounce cases, that is section 138 of the Negotiable Instrument Act, you have a mandatory prior notice before you file a complaint before a criminal court. It's a quasi criminal proceeding. So she
Okay.
said, you just go and draft it. I said, I cannot deny this is my first day.
Hmm.
So I went there and I took like 1.5 hours. And trust me, it was so pathetic. I could not even drafted one page. And that one page was full of grammatical error, full of vocab. See, we can autocorrect that. But I'll tell you, it was pathetic. So ma'am invited me. She said, I intentionally given to you so that you realize that whenever you pass an academics, you realize drafting is, see, you must know there is no law in India, though there is law in pleading,
Hmm.
CPC, but there is no law in India which tells you how to draft a document. Every draft person have a different skill. Some of the people who have a writing skills, like, see, it really depends. Every person have their own skill. No person is wrong over the fact, but the essence of a drafting is that you will be able to convince. Now either you convince through one page, you convince through 20 pages, that is up to you. But you convince the person, because many a time the court doesn't allow you to oral argument. They just listen your written pleading. And in that sense, drafting work. Coming to my experience, so after that, uh, she keep on giving me drafts, and she said, you just go and read. So for the first month, I do nothing but read the files. I read lot of files to see how they write. Where do you mention that I submit that? Where you need special attention of the court, you say, okay, this is pertinent to mention here that. Where on what situation you cite a judgment, which how do you in italics, what kind of font that you follow, these are the different things.
Right.
uh, what is the material emphasis that you want? See, you must know this fact. When you draft a plaint or a written statement, you cannot cite a bare law.
Right.
This is a rule of pleading also. You can cite a fact, or you can cite a mixed question of fact and question of law. Now, over that thing, you need to be very diligent. So suppose that I want to submit that this person have already accepted it, therefore he is bound by the estoppel. So I cannot just write that according to section 115 of the Indian Evidence Act. I have to be very cunning in writing. Like, I have to write the fact in a way that itself prove the law, because I am not a judge. You getting my point?
Right,
I
right.
have to write. It is only the judge who apply the law, but I have to write in a way that judge is convinced. So
Right.
drafting is an art that you eventually, I'll tell you, eventually you gain it through the practice. The more and more you practice, the more you learn over it. Like, the kind of draft that I used to do during my first initial 6 months is totally different from the last 3 months. And then the kind of draft that I do is again different from what I used to do. And I think it will keep on changing. So there is no straight jacket formula for it, and it keep on changing. But I'll tell you, drafting is very important, because it is a bridge that takes your client to the court.
Hmm.
Yes.
Right. So, whenever somebody is writing a draft, I have seen different lawyers and different drafts. Some of them are really similar to each other. If you see
Yes.
matrimonial disputes and all, they are really similar to each other, and the way they are writing and everything. But everybody, I think, has their own way, the art of writing their own drafts. So, how does one develop that art of themselves?
As I said, I think it is a matter of practice only, and it also depend how much you have spent. So, for example, let's suppose that if you are submitting in a matrimonial court, as you said, so it really depend upon the judges to judges also. Some kind of judges who like uh, uh, the tone in an active, though it is a rule that you should be an active rather than passive. But some of the people, some of the judges who have the tendency to listen in other ways, squarely that you are coming to the conclusion. But
Right.
yes, I agree upon this very fact, which is your observation. I think it is my observation also, that many a time what lawyers do, that they invite the drafts from their friends, and they kind of add the parties and change the material facts.
Right. Right.
But this is the practice. I think it need to be changed, and I myself have done that. As I said, during the initial 6 months, what I draft, and during the next 6 months, and then 3 months, and then what I do is altogether different. Now I don't need draft to write an application. You see, so I think initial 3 to 4 months it is fine, because you don't know where to write, where to take the jurisdiction stance, where do you take the cause of action stance, where do you take the preliminary objection, where do you go in the merits, where do you use the verification clause, where do you use the affidavit, where you attach the annexures. So initially, because it will help you to go practice.
Right.
But once you developed, I think thereafter one need to practice their own draft. And I'll tell you, see, it varies from. So if you are drafting purely for the courts and tribunals, and if you're drafting for something which is not before the authority of court, but it's a contractual drafting. So let's say some agreements. It is now here you cannot go through the draft. I'll tell you. Suppose that if you're drafting a supplier agreement or a distribution agreement, you cannot go with the draft, because lot of things that you have to change, and especially during this pandemic, then when you have a force majeure clause, you have an arbitration clause, because arbitration have changed a lot. Now you cannot have a arbitrator through whims and fancies of one party. You have a place of arbitration, and you must have known that this is a whole dispute between place and venue arbitration. So a lawyer need to be very sharp over this fact. There are certain clauses which we use as cut copy paste, but now after this pandemic, I think this need to be revisit, and this
Right.
practice need to be stopped, both for the company secretaries and lawyer, because I myself is not a lawyer yet. But yeah, I'm telling with my experience.
Well, sir, whenever we are writing, I have just now started drafting. So thinking about it, I am not able to even form a legal language. Like the hota hai language, it is not able, like it's not coming. So
Yes.
how does like one form a legal language? Like in their head only, they are thinking in that way only.
Yes. Exactly. You have answered your question. So I was attending one session by Mr. Kapil Sibbal. He was invited at a law college. He given advice to young people like us. He said that when you go to Supreme Court, I have been like during our college, they made us went to the real court proceedings. We went there. So what he said that when you go there, you will see people, those people who eat law, they talk law, they walk law, they drink law. They're so much obsessed intellectual people
Right.
because they love it. So I think the moment you keep yourself revolve around those things, it will eventually come out in your language. And I have myself experienced it. Like I have those friends who prefer legal language over a gen, though sometimes it trouble you a lot when you're talking to your parents, because it is there in your mind and you submit instead of saying things. So many a time you submit to your parents also. So it creates, but yeah, you having answer to your question that you keep around your people, you keep writing in those language, you keep on practice. So it is a matter of practice, and it is a matter of kind of company that you keep around. It
Right.
will come. It will eventually come. It takes time, but it will come. It will come. If you keep on practice, it will come.
Right. So, sir, did you use some hand holding? Like there was somebody always telling you what to do when you're drafting, like somebody sitting next to you and while you're drafting, or just that you learned it yourself, you tried it on the laptop yourself and did it?
No, I think it's both. But I'll say when I joined my internship, CS internship, which was for 14 months, I had this friend come senior. He is a lawyer. He was a fresher lawyer instead. He's from 5 year only, but he had done lot of internships. So he used to correct me all the time that no, you are using it in a way that goes into admission. So
Okay.
so let's suppose that if you are drafting a reply to a petition, okay, so you must know that there are two kind of replies that you do. One is a general denial, okay, that the uh, that the defendant submit that the entire content of this para is nullified and hence absolutely denied. Then there is one statement. So let's suppose that there is one para which is given by a petitioner where you want to deny a specific part, but you want to argue on the other part. Now, this become very problematic for those people who have never, they are beginners like me. I myself noticed this fact, and he corrected me. Said, so in this context, you deny proportionately. You said that to the extent the defendant denied, and then you make a pairwise reply. You need to be very sharp over here. So over these things, you need a senior, because here is an experience. So I think it's a both ways. You need a senior or maybe a junior. I mean, those people who have acquainted. It may be a teacher, it may be your trainer. So you need some people in drafting, but it's a matter of it's matter of practice and experience. You need a senior for it.
Right. So, sir, so we have talked about almost everything. So let's talk about something which is ki, how do you chill? Because you are a person who is very adamant on working hard and reaching your goals and everything. But what is your pastime? What do you do to just chill?
Okay. Okay. Now it's a okay. So how do I chill? I'll say so. I love traveling, but though I have not traveled a lot. But I make sure that in every 6 months or 8 months, I do go somewhere, and I like mountains a lot. I'm a winter person, so yeah, so it's kind of a chill time, but this chill time came after 6 to 8 months. Apart from that, I think music plays a very important role in our life. I'm a die-hard Coldplay fan. Like kind of love their poetry, the way they sing.
Right.
Uh, yes, and I think I have my dogs.
Mhm.
They're animals,
Mhm.
and I love nature. I meet my friends often on Saturdays, Sundays, and I eat a lot. I'm a big foodie.
Right.
So I think they all are my chill times. And
Right.
yes, so I have a deep interest for history,
Mhm.
because my mom used to be an history teacher.
Okay.
So I have deep interest for a history. So I keep on researching or write, like kind of watch some documentaries on World War I, World War II, German era, this, that. There's the kind of boring stuff, but I love that. So
No,
I
not
think they
at
are.
all. I have clear, like I have read a lot about Tutankhamun, yeah,
Oh wow!
Hitler and all that. I love history. I love all these assassinations that used to happen.
Yes,
Um,
yes, yes,
all I have read so much about it. I have these BBC ki documentaries ki CDs. I
yes,
watch them
yes, yes.
regularly. They're really amazing. So
You must read about this Mongolia also, because Genghis Khan was from there, and I really like this fact about this person, because he's the only man who have conquered the Europe also. Like Mongolia right now, it is a landlocked country, but
mhm.
there was a time when Mongolia was the biggest country on this earth in terms of territory acquisition.
Wow.
And credit to this person, Genghis Khan.
Mhm.
So why I like this person a lot, though he have murdered many people, not for this very fact. I think this is very normal in the history, that people
Right.
kill other and they acquire the territory. they
Right.
they hurt their gods. This is a different aspect. But why? Because he was just 5 feet and 5 inch, like a very medium height
Right.
person.
My height.
And European Europeans were somewhere like 6 feet or seven. It's very normal for European people.
Right.
But he conquered them
Mm.
because he had the strategy. So what
Right.
we learn from this person,
Mm.
that if you have the strategy, you can conquer anything.
Right. Right.
So this is very fascinating. And the temperature of Mongolia, the land, like it's a good uh, tourist place also if you love mountains.
Mm.
So there is a place, I was watching a documentary. So Mongolia is entirely between the boundary of Russia
Mhm.
and the boundary of China, if I'm not wrong.
Mhm.
Uh, it is entirely, so there is a place where you can see that okay, this is Russia and this is your China, and this
Right.
is so fascinating. I'm telling
Wow.
you. And there was some historian who used to say that कि यहाँ से जाते थे और they used to then come to this European and this and that. So it is so fascinating to think
Right.
about it.
Right.
Yeah.
Even with Hitler, sir, leaders like Hitler, if I say, oh, I love Hitler and all, people assume that okay, I love a person who has killed a lot of people. But I love the fact that
See, he
he
was
was
a very good orator. He
very
he
good,
had
sir.
a very good orientation
Right.
skills.
So the way he was strategizing everything was point blank, like it was dot on. And then, sir,
Yes.
even in the even like if you see, he was in favor of Aryans who were supposed to have blue eyes and gold blonde hair, but he
Yeah, that's why
himself,
he used that chin. Huh? That's why
right, and he
he used that.
himself had brown hair and brown eyes. So that was like
Yeah.
he convinced the whole nation of people that you should hate people who are not Aryans, and still he himself looked like a non-Aryan, which is
You
really
can always get a
fascinating.
positive. Yes, you have. See, you have. I really thank you for this fact. You have get something really good out of it, because when you see, if I talk to a political person and I'll say I like this Hitler, he'll say, okay, so you are one of those right wing or something. See, yeah, because see, there can be a situation you like a person for their one skill and you dislike a person for other skill.
Right,
We read in Constitution doctrine of severability that if there is a possibility to separate, you separate those two personalities. You
hmm.
separate them. I like Hitler over the fact because he loved dogs also. I
Me
don't know if
too.
you
Yes.
remember, yeah, if you remember it, but he was saved by a dog during the First World War.
Yes, yes. The dog
Yeah.
dragged him, and it was a female dog.
Yes, yes, yes. There is a documentary of it. Yeah, the dog dragged him,
Hmm.
and he wanted to be an artist, but his drawing and handwriting was very bad.
Yeah, sir, he was, I think his art was good. It was standard, but he was not able to get into art school. And because of
Yes,
that, he
yes,
decided, and after his mother died, he decided that, okay, since I don't have anything in the world now, I will go into war. And then after that,
yes,
he started, this whole transition started happening. So even they say, I'm not sure if this is historically accurate or not, but I saw it on Instagram. There was a post that there was a priest who saved a young child from drowning, and that young child got to become Hitler. So imagine the
oh,
turn of history if he would have let the child drown, and he would have, like, there would be no Hitler, there would be no things like that happened. So it's like pretty fascinating that just one thing in history changed everything, and it could have changed.
yes, yes. And we need to learn because see, as we say that it's not that you have a commerce background and you just need to talk tan theta and sine theta all the time. If you keep yourself so divert, I think it really help you to speak up when you like. See, suppose that you're doing this talk show, it will eventually help you out when you practice in court because you have an extrovert's traits that are coming up to you. You are opening up your own self and you're getting comfortable. So I think we all have those kind of things. So yes, but yeah, I think so. I was traveling to Haridwar. There is a place, thoda Haridwar se dur jaake, I'm not remember, Rishikesh. So we were in bus, and there is a person, some foreigner. He was sitting aside. So I think he was writing something, and I say that I think you are writing some history. So he said yes. So then he started, and I say I like Hitler. So he's like, why? So I said that for the reason that so you must know this. I'm not remembering the name of that person. Subhash Chandra Bose.
Right.
Subhash Chandra Bose, he went to Germany through Afghanistan, take the help of Hitler. Hitler gave his personal submarine to take him to the Japan, and in Japan, those Indian prisoners who were the prisoners of World War One,
Right.
they submitted to the boss and they created the Indian army, and they started the march Chalo Delhi. वो वहां से they just enter into India, and one of the historian, he write this fact that it is not just the protest or the war that we leave India, it is the Hitler and it is the boss. Why? Because Hitler started this World War II, and and again Britishers had to enter that, and so the resources of Britain, they were they were not able to manage such a huge army, huge country also. Though our freedom fighters have fought over it, great respect to them, but we need to understand the 360 degree.
Right,
We
exactly.
read what is there in the books, one who write the books, who win over it, but there are a lot of such facts, lot of such contribution. They are the unsung heroes.
Right.
People celebrate Gandhi Jayanti on 2nd October. I have a great respect for that person. I myself love, but people don't celebrate 2nd October as a uh, uh,
There is also a
God.
Jayanti that happens.
Yes, yes. So there is this prime minister, I think second prime minister of India. Who was second prime minister of India? There was this documentary also, na? अभी थोड़ा time पहले आई थी इन पे. Second or third prime minister.
Lal Bahadur Shastri.
Yes, so it's a yes, Shastri ji Janti also. But I
Shastri
don't
ji's
really.
history itself is really fascinating. That
There is that movie Tashkent
it
Files.
was
You must see
beautiful,
it.
sir. I watched the movie. I literally came out with the goosebumps because it was so fascinating to see the other perspective. And the movie conclusively said that there was a mystery, that there is nothing,
Yes.
that he was killed there. So pretty
Yeah.
fascinating to me. So we
So
have
I think
almost yes,
yeah.
sir. No, sir, continue, please.
No, I think we all learn keep on exploring the areas, not just stuck up to the law books. So it's really help you a lot in a way or other.
Exactly. It actually helps to have a personality outside of law. I've every internship that I have been into, they have always said, वो कहते थे कि मैंने ना मुस्कान में पहले पढ़ता था बहुत सारी बुक्स, मैं पहले करता था ये, मैं पहले थिएटर करता था, ऐसे करके से I also do theater. So they always used to say कि मैं करता था. मैं पूछा सर आप अब क्यों नहीं करते? कहते कि मैं थोड़ा ना अब मैं बिजी हो गया हूँ लॉ में, मैं पूरा ये चला गया हूँ. तो I like it actually rewards to have a personality outside of law. There should be something that you are outside of being a professional or something. So
Yes.
right. So sir, we have almost reached the end of the show. I just would like to ask you one question, that
Yes.
what lies in the future ahead for you?
So future is uncertain. You never know. Like 6 months back, none of us, 6 to 7 months back, none of us had the idea that we will be at a stage where people are starving for death or people are starving the employment. I would say 5 year, 10 year down the line, I will not be able to comment upon it, but I want to be uh, at a stage where I will be able to manage my life between my responsibilities and my dreams. So I want to be at that stage. No matter, see, we all have finance. We all have money. We'll eventually get over it. We all see that's a material. You all earn. You have bills. You have to earn. You have to pay. That's a very routine
Right.
life. But I think one should be at a position where they're able to manage their life, because we all have some responsibilities, be it family responsibilities, be it your responsibilities towards your friends, or we all have dreams also. That okay, I have a dream that I want to travel Europe solo by the age of 35. So I want to achieve that because I really love the France and Italy because of the history. So and I
Backpacking.
want to go there solo. Yeah, so I want to achieve. There are a lot of such dreams that I want to have. So I want to be at a stage where I'll be able to manage between both of them.
Right. Right. So thank you so much for being on the show, sir. It was really exciting having you. And also I got such a like light bulb moments in between that, discovering things about the law, and actually you made me a little more passionate that I was about law. So thank you so much for coming here. All the viewers I think will really appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
sir.
Muskan. And I think the idea of show is very good. I myself have explored that. See, if you try to self-evaluate, you will not. These are the things you will not think when you're sitting at your office or you're studying law. But
Right.
it helped me to take back to the memories and come to here. Yes, and thanks for a Hitler fact.
Right. So I have many Hitler facts.
Okay.
Right. So thank you so much for being on the show, everybody. And please subscribe to the channel, and let's see you next time. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. See you.